Lindsey Graham is trying to find some reason to justify not voting for Ketanji Brown Jackson. Ketanji Brown Jackson. Oops. Lindsey Graham is trying to find some reason not to vote for our SCOTUS nominee, Ketanji Brown Jackson. He is going to vote against her, so he needs to find a reason. So he goes into one of his tantrums. He first questions her about defending somebody in Guantanamo. Then he gets on her for an amicus brief, and then he goes ahead and castigates her because he claims a lot of left-wing organizations wanted her, and those that want to pack the courts and all of that want her. I mean, things that she has no control over, of course. And packing the courts, it's not she who can pack the courts. It's the political side of the equation, the congressional side of the equation, right? But anyhow, so he asks her questions, and after she's very good at answering the response, Dick Durbin goes ahead and he annihilates Graham with everything that he said. Very calmly, he was able to say, Graham is just a pompous buffoon. He didn't say it that way, of course, but we know that's what he meant. I want you to listen to this. Let's take it on the other side.
So we'll have 20 minutes more later on, but here's what I would say. That every group that wants to pack the court, that believes this court is a bunch of right-wing nuts that are going to destroy America, that consider the Constitution trash, all wanted you picked. And this is all I can say, is the fact that so many of these left-wing radical groups that would destroy the law as we know it declared war on Michelle Childs and supported you is problematic for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Graham. Let me mention a few points here. Congressman Jim Clyburn was a strong supporter of Michelle Childs, and now I believe he is publicly supporting your nomination. And Michelle Childs has been nominated by President Biden to be a circuit judge, and she will be considered by this committee as quickly as possible. On the issue of Guantanamo, there are currently 39 Guantanamo detainees remaining. The annual budget for Guantanamo is $540 million per year, which means each of these detainees is being held at the expense of $12 or $13 million per year. If they would be incarcerated at Florence, Colorado, the Supermax prison, federal prison, the amount would be dramatically less. Since 9/11, nearly 1,000 convicted in the United States on terrorism charges. Since 2009, with the beginning of the Obama administration, the recidivism rate of Guantanamo detainees released is 5%.
Mr. Chairman, according to the Director of National Intelligence, is 31%. Somebody is wrong here. If you're going to talk about what I said, I'm going to respond to what you said. If we close Gitmo and move them to Colorado, do you support indefinite detention under the law of war for these detainees?
I would just say I'm giving the facts. And
the answer is no.
I want to make sure that it's clear. The 31% you referred to goes back to the year 2009? 2000.
What does it matter when it goes back to? We had them and they got loose and they started killing people.
Well, I could just say that...
if you're one of the people killed in 2005, does it matter to you when we release them?
Suggest that a president of your own party released them in...
I'm suggesting the system has failed miserably, and advocates to change this system like she was advocating would destroy our ability to protect this country. We're at war. We're not fighting a crime. This is not some passage of time event. As long as they're dangerous, I hope they all die in jail if they're going to go back and kill Americans. It won't bother me one bit if 39 of them die in prison. That's a better outcome than letting them go. And if it costs $500 million to keep them in jail, keep them in jail because they're going to go back to the fight. Look at the friggin' Afghan government. It's made up of former detainees at Gitmo. This whole thing by the left about this war ain't working.
Let me also note that Larry Thompson, who served as Deputy Attorney General under President George W. Bush, Oren Kerr, Special Counsel, Viet Den, who served as Assistant Attorney General for Legal Policy in the George W. Bush administration, John Bellinger, and former D.C. Circuit Judge, Solicitor General, and Independent Counsel Ken Starr were also prominent conservative lawyers signing a letter defending attorneys who represented Guantanamo Bay detainees. I don't believe that we should associate that activity as being inconsistent with our constitutional values.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join. It is amazing. It is amazing. There we go. After Graham was exposed, after Graham was embarrassed, after Graham made a fool of himself, after Dick Durbin proved that holding a few people in Guantanamo are costing $13 million per person, after he points out that defense of terrorism is more effective in our legal system than in the fraud that is Guantanamo. When he explains all of that and gives results, Graham couldn't take it. So what did Graham do? Throw a tantrum and walks out of the hearing. I mean, these guys are amazing. Amazingly, fraudulently, well, we can end it right there. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.